Hey, yo, check it.
Welcome back, hero.
My word is my sword, Hokage and Batosai, pulling the blades out of the forge, yo. Prior to my knowledge of the Force, was thinking Jedi, but through obtaining holocrons from both sides, I'm under gray skies. Everything that glitter ain't kyber crystal, my mind to lift you. In this time we shine together, disarm your pistol, yo. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash.
On the computer, bang, recording. We're back, man. Yo.
We're back.
We're gonna take this time to welcome back our brother Noveliss, man. Love you, man.
Hey,
You survived.
I did, man. It was a scary accident. One day, you know the full story. One day I'll share my experiences with everybody, just not right now.
Totally understand. We're just glad to have you back. We've had some fans that have been asking for us to get back on it, and so here we are.
Just a big shout out to everybody, man. My friends, family, fans, like everybody was so just super uplifting, man, with all the positivity and the prayers and the thoughts that everybody was, giving me, and I'm good, man. I'm healing up. It's gonna be a few months. I got my staples out today. Ouch.
Yeah, that sounds like it's trash.
Yeah, man. I got my staples out today, so I'm recovering, man. So yeah, I'm on these. I gotta take these blood thinners for like 30 more days, because I had to have that surgery, and they had to give me a lot of blood, man. So, but like I said, one episode, I'll tell all, you know what I mean, for everybody. But I'm healing up, and I love all y'all, and I really appreciate y'all for everything, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Well, of course, I speak for everybody when I say glad to have you back. And let's get to it. What's the goddamn forecast for the SwordCast? God damn it!
The forecast for the SwordCast. I did it. My first time back in a long time, and I did it. You're the best. Oh, no, I gotta never keep you now.
Right.
Hey, shout out to Perry Hall, SwordCast Hall of Fame member, my homeboy Nick Milks, man. He came by to pay me a visit, man. When I got home from the hospital, and he just brought like fruit and like wrestling DVDs.
Right.
It's amazing, man. So shout out to my homie Nick, man, and you as well, bro, man. You came by, brought me the fire Pokemon Alpha Sapphire. If you guys don't know what that is, that is in my opinion, as a whole, that's the greatest group of starters in Pokemon history to me. You got Grid, you got Blaziken, Sceptile, and Mudkip. That's like three of the absolute dopest starters ever. So thank you for that, man.
No doubt, man.
Yeah, bro. So what is the forecast for the SwordCast? What episode is this? This is episode 40.
Wait, what episode actually is it? Is it 42? I actually don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't know either. Let me check.
Hold on. Because if it's 42, then we good, man. Episode goddamn Jerry Stackhouse.
Episode Elton Brand.
Yo, Jerry Stackhouse is one of my favorite players. You remember, like, in the late 90s after Jordan retired, they kept trying to trot out, like, the next shooting guard from North Carolina that, like, was a slasher and tried to turn him into Jordan. Jerry Stackhouse could actually hoop, though. He was average 30 a game one year. Did we lose you? Oh, there you go. You were frozen for a second.
Oh, you were frozen on my end.
Did you hear any of what I said?
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, remember back in the 90s, the late 90s when after Jordan retired and they kept trying to trot out like 6'6" shooting guards out of North Carolina for them to be the next Jordan. Jerry Stackhouse was actually my favorite one of that group, though. You can't hear me? Uh-oh. Error. There you go.
My back. Jeez, why do I keep freezing? I don't know. All right, let's try this again.
All right, so I was telling the story for the third time about Jerry Stackhouse, and how he was my favorite Jordan clone that came out of North Carolina, because he could actually hoop and average 30 a game one year for the Pistons.
Jerry Stackhouse was a bucket getter.
He was. That nigga had a long ass like fucking Chrysler PT ass head, PT Cruiser looking ass dome.
He was a baller though, man. Jerry was a bucket getter. I remember one. This is funny though, but I remember when I was a kid in the playoffs, he had a wide open fast break and he went to do a finger roll. But he jumped so far that he literally dropped the ball right on the back of the rim and it popped out. And
I remember that.
But that play made me afraid to ever try to learn how to do a finger roll.
Oh, really?
that one play. So I that's never, finger rolls have never been a part of my game because of that.
You know what? I guess I had some fear of finger rolls because it is easy to look real stupid if you blow one.
Yeah.
But so it was weird though, because it's kind of all right, man, I'm in college. I can dunk, but I'm not out here freaking that bitch. So I'm not about to do nothing crazy. And I'm also not about to blow a fucking wide open layup in front of my college coats. So I'm not going to try to dunk, but also I'm not in high school no more. I'm not about to be smacking out on some sixth grade, on some eighth grade shit. So I kind of had, right, you know what I'm saying? Two-hand smack out, right? That was a big deal.
The two-hand smack out is so annoying, man.
Right, dog. We all got hops.
Come on, bro.
But so I had to just kind of learn how to all right, bro, this is the adult layup. I have to fucking learn how to. For me, it wasn't so much a freaky English finger roll. It was more I just jumped high enough to almost dunk it, but just sort of just lay that bitch in there.
Word. So my homie Clayton, man, he's not tall, right? He's about the same height as me and you. And this dude he's one of my best friends, and he just had the freakiest finger roll ever. And it was so dope because he was a guard. He had crazy handle, crazy court vision, could shoot. But he wasn't athletic like that. But he somehow just had the nastiest finger roll, bro. And he would exaggerate the crap out of it.
Oh yeah, you know I love a freaky layup, bro.
Yeah, he is the master,
bro. Me and my homie Randall, dog. Shout out to Randall. I'm sure he's listening. We used to make so much fun out of this random ass piston, bro. You want to talk about random? Pulling a piston out of the fucking the treasure trove, nigga. You remember Walter Hermain, dog?
Walter. Oh, yeah. Fabio
looking ass. That nigga used to have the freakiest layups, bro. That's the only thing I remember about him is because he had
his
giant hands
were so big.
So he could palm the ball. That nigga used to freak that bitch every time. I used to love watching it. Anytime I would go to a game and he was on the team, I would just love to watch the layup lines. That nigga be filleting that bitch. Freaky ass layups, bro.
You know who else was a kind of an underrated big hand freaky layup? Remember Luis Scola?
Yes. Yeah. He be having those weird up and under
and
long ass arms.
And the ball looked like a tennis ball in his hand. So
right.
He was just doing
the sweeping hooks, the sweeping over under hooks that he don't even jump for.
Right. Yeah, bro. Funny. Luis Scola, man. So
right.
And does it for the sports section of the SwordCast. Hey man, by the way, I just brought up my homie Clayton. So my guy he's starting he's doing these Taco Tuesday, right? And tomorrow he's doing fried chicken tacos.
What?
Yeah, bro. And my man he can cook, bro. He's always been a really good cook. So, but I say that to say this: support your friends, y'all. If your friends are doing something and they're venturing out and they're doing something that they've always wanted to do or getting creative in some way, support them, man. You know, if you got the funds, give them a little something extra, man. To support your friends. Man.
Also, bro. Pay your friends what they're worth. Do not get discounts from your friends.
Ever.
The goal of supporting your friends is to pay them what they are worth. when they get on, that's when you get discounts. But right now, when they're still trying to make it, you pay them what they're worth and more, and give them a tip on top of that.
Yep.
Don't ask them to do you no favors. You're doing them a favor by supporting their shit. Oh, did I freeze again? Frozen. This nigga just... So wait, I assume that I froze, yes?
You did.
So right now, you're still frozen and you just got this like shit-eating grin. You were just kind of like...
Am I frozen now?
No, you're good. Did you catch me in the robot?
I did. It was pretty strange.
Fantastic. All right.
I don't know what's going on, man? But yeah, bro. So we're back, episode 42. Shout out to Edmund, man, for coming on last episode. It seemed like it was forever ago because we had to take a couple weeks off, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true. That was a really fun episode.
It was a great episode, talk about Avatar. So what are you into currently, my friend?
So, right, well, I wasn't into The Last of Us Part 2, which I've since played and finished. And speaking of which, we actually, so Edmund and myself and our mutual friend Josh, they're both based in Atlanta, actually recorded a review of The Last of Us Part 2 that maybe we can find a way to put, because they actually have their own like network, their own like sort of like reviewing website. Yeah. So they wanted me to record it, and maybe we can help use our platform to kind of big their shit up as well. So we'll figure out how to do that. So that was what I was into a couple of weeks ago. Now I got back into Pokemon as well. I'm sure you're going to talk about that, so I'll leave that to you. and also, dog, recently, and shout out to Noveliss and our homie Marshall. They ain't gonna never let me play Smash again because I just discovered Min Min. I didn't just discover, but I started playing with Min Min on Smash.
Ever,
bro, she is stupid cheap.
Banned from tournaments.
Off top. She's gonna get nerfed. She's gonna get nerfed immediately as soon as the next update comes out.
Yeah.
She's gonna get banned from tournaments. I mean, them arms literally go across the stage. And not only that, bro, the best part about it, this is actually why this character is so dope to play with, is that she doesn't have a special move, right? Like A controls one arm and B controls the other arm. So you can do smash attacks with both arms. That's why like I was hitting y'all niggas like one of y'all in front and the other one, bro. I had arms going in every direction, bro, knocking these niggas off the board from literally everywhere.
Poor taste, Smash. Poor taste. What are you guys doing?
Dog, she's
Super Smash, Fire Emblem Bros.
Right. Hey man, it's bad enough that like even me, the person who was playing with her, was like, this shit kind of some bullshit, dog.
That's how it was, man.
And then, bro, on top of that, so she can change like her different arm, like things at the end, like she can change like her weapon at the end of each arm. She's got this bro, no bullshit. Her like big yellow ball, like the big electric one, even though it moves slow, you can literally kill somebody at like 40 damage with that bitch.
Trash.
She is a motherfucker. So yeah, that's what I've been into lately. What about you?
So yeah, myself, I got back into Pokemon, man, and since I have more downtime, it's been a tough year for me, man. But I mean, it's been a tough year for everybody. So I've had your situation has definitely been just as bad, if not worse, than most. So we both have had a terrible 2020. So right, and so yeah, man, I got back into Pokemon, and I am a official like scientific PhD Pokemon breeder now.
Welcome to the gala, dog.
So I've just been playing that Pokemon Sword, and I have this like, I'm so proud of this move.
Hold on, I can still hear you. Go ahead. My bad.
I'm so proud of this move set that I got on my Hitmontop. You know what I mean? Hitmontop is one of my favorites, and in order to get this moveset that I have for him, you have to breed first you gotta catch a Hitmonlee. Then you have to breed the Hitmonlee, and when you get a Tyrog, you have to have it evolve into a Hitmonchan, which means that his defense has to be higher than his attack. And so if you can do that, you do that, and now the next baby that you breed will inherit high jump kick from Hitmonlee, and it'll inherit Mach Punch and Bullet Punch from Hitmonchan. And then then when you breed the next one, in order for it to be a Hitmontop, its defense and attack has to be even. And then you get a Hitmontop. So now you're doing this on top of trying to get like at least a decent a decent 2 to 3 to 4 IVs, you know what I'm saying, that are perfect. So it's like it took me forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm a scientific Pokemon breeder. So shout out to Pokemon Sword. And also, man, I finished Tower of God. It's a newer anime I was checking out. I gotta say, man, I was really kind of disappointed just because people hyped it up so much. They hyped it up a lot, and the way that the show ends, it's clearly not even. There's going to be another season, and people kind of hyped it up like it was a 1 season deal. You know what I mean? And the big thing, it hasn't even been resolved or anything. So this season was almost like a teaser trailer. It was only 13 episodes. I finished Tower of God. It was cool, good animation, but it was a little disappointing.
So hold on, before we move forward, I wanted to show one thing off here. I've also been in the Pokemon lab. So if you can see my screen.
I can't.
Oh no.
I can't. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So we got Zora that has been hyper trained. But look at this shit, dog. Look at that. Look at this Cinderace, bro, with 6 perfect IVs, dog. That shit took me literally like 200 eggs to get this shit.
That's so hard.
And
the closest I have a 5 perfect IV Weavile. That's like my best accomplishment.
Yeah. The odds of doing that were like,
it's hard.
Yeah, it was. I think if you have 2 5 IV parents, which I was able to get 2 5 IV parents, I got a 5 IV. I had a 4. I started with a 4 IV Ditto that I caught, and then I bred a bunch of Cinderaces. And on top of that, I had to like get lucky in that the 6 perfect IV one also had the hidden ability of Libero, which is like it makes it even more astronomical. So I'm done. Like I'm not breeding ever. Like I'm through. That's the best accomplishment that I'm gonna get. 6 IV.
I feel the same about the Hitmontop and the Weavile, man. It's time consuming.
Yeah, as hell.
So yeah, bro. So we're gonna kick it off with our little 90s nostalgia.
Hey,
yo, man, the 90s, obviously a legendary time for cartoons, man. I want you to give me a 90s cartoon that is somewhat forgotten. People always talk about, like the classic shows from the 90s, but they leave out a lot too, man. The 90s, like it was so many dope cartoons that were coming out. So give me a forgotten 90s cartoon.
Bro, there's a bunch, man. You got Mummies Alive, which was fire. Random as hell.
Mummies Alive was dope. They had some cool toys too.
They did have some dog ass toys. Yeah. I know a lot of people know about this one, but like just to kind of, you can't understate how dope it was. Nigga, Beast Wars was Beast fire. Wars. And so I'm gonna go with one definitive answer, but the one that I was about to go with, even though I know people know about this, but in terms of like underappreciated, dog, Reboot, man. I'm telling y'all, Reboot is so good, man. I will go back and watch that right now. It still holds up, bro. Just such a creative idea, bro. Like a story about the the goings on inside of your computer, and that like you always play the game like the user is the enemy, right? Like you from your perspective always are playing against the CPU. This is the CPU's story. That's so dope to me. Such a good concept. Anyways, the one that I'm gonna go with is this, and I think I might have talked about this once on the podcast. There were these toys back in the 90s where I think there was like a girl version and a boy version, and the girl version was like this like pixie princess, and you like
the dragonfly.
So dragonflies. The boy version was called dragonflies, and you would rip the cord and they would like spin around and fly. Bro, these fools had a cartoon that had the most amazing theme song ever. It was basically like I remember talking about this on the podcast a while ago, but basically it was a dystopian future where like men lived with dinosaurs and dragons in the sky, and it had like that 90s like G.I. Joe style animation.
Yeah.
It was fire. I think it only lasted 1 or maybe 2 seasons, but it was dope.
I had a couple of the
Dragonflies toy. Yeah, bro, that shit was fire, man. So that's my answer. Dragonflies.
Dragonflies. That's a dope choice. Yeah, like you said, there's so many good ones, man, that are get swept under the rug. Mighty Max. I used to like.
That's a fire one.
Captain Bucky O'Hare. I talk about Captain Bucky O'Hare all the time. You want to talk about a show with the greatest theme song ever in the history of cartoons? It's definitely Captain Bucky O'Hare. I love that show too. But if I'm thinking of like just a really a forgotten show that nobody ever brings up, I will probably have to go with Pirates of Darkwater.
Hey, that one was fire.
Pirates of Darkwater. It's a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, and that show was super dope. I kind of wonder if Pirates of the Caribbean kind of studied that cartoon a little bit.
Yeah, it was like serious Pirates of the Caribbean.
It was really good. It was you had Ren, the main character. You had like the broken sword.
Mm-hmm.
And the water was it was like the evil dark water, and it was a really good show. It had some sweet characters. I can't remember the girl's name, but it was Pirates of Darkwater was a really dope show. And
do I remember that show having some brown people in it?
I feel like everybody in that show was brown.
Some sort of like they were like Indian, Caribbean sort of. Yeah,
everybody looked like that. It was that show was really dope. If you have never seen it and you want to watch an old 90s cartoon, watch Pirates of Darkwater, man. That show was amazing.
Boom.
So that's mine.
That's fire. What a great topic. Like we could do an entire podcast just on forgotten 90s animes.
There's so many good ones. So yeah, man. Right, we're gonna roll right into our music because we didn't cover music at all last time because of the Avatar episode.
I didn't even see this question until now, and then immediately like 50 answers just flooded to my memory.
So obviously we're both artists, and one dope thing about me and you is I feel like it's important to let yourself be inspired by things other than just like albums and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's a show or a movie with a soundtrack that really, really inspired you?
I mean, obviously the immediate answer is Samurai Champloo.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt about that. But, just going back to my love of anime and paying respect to Queen Mother Yoko Kanno, goddamn it, the GOAT, all of her shit is just incredible. So I mean, she was responsible for basically any theme song that you've ever heard that was she did it. So, but there's one in particular that I still think to this day is the greatest theme song of all time, greatest anime opener of all time. Record of Lotus War, the OVA.
You always talk about that.
Dog, it's so epic, bro. If you go back and watch that shit right now, it looks like if Game of Thrones was an anime, back in like the early 90s, it would look just like that. Like there's a fucking giant dragon that flies through. It's like real, like, it's not like happy fantasy, nigga. This is dark, horrible, like betrayal fantasy.
Right.
And it just, the theme song is just gorgeous. I love it. So that's definitely one. So we're talking specifically movies and TV, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say that those are, I mean, so one of my biggest things when I was younger was like anime soundtracks, anime theme songs, right? Like it's easy for me to say this now, but like I am kind of an OG now. Like I'm out here 30 something. So like I was one of the first cats out here like sampling anime. Like I can say that. And the reason why I know this to be true is after I had already been doing it for years, after I'd already been doing it since I was like in high school, when I came into the Detroit hip hop community, one of the pieces of feedback that I got was like, damn, Hero is dope. But like, I had somebody flat out tell me one time, man, you be sampling all those animes and video games, man. I wonder what it would sound like if you had like a soul sample or something.
Oh goodness!
And I
wonder what it would sound like if you did what everybody else did. Because
bro, my answer, and I shout out to the dude who I'm still really close with, the guy who told me that. Like he was just trying to help, but I told him, like, I was honest. I said I would sound just like everybody else, and
right.
And one of the whole reason why, right, bro, like the whole reason why I kind of got to where I was is because there was nobody out there to sound, even to this day, bro. Like I don't care how dope anybody else's beats are. All of my niggas can make beats. Like Vibes, right. Elijah Day, Illingsworth, all of these dudes are elite. 14 KT, Apollo Brown, Black Milk, all of these guys, elite. But their beats don't sound like mine, bro. Like, right. They can't do what I do. And I don't know if I can necessarily do what they could do either. But, like,
it's different.
It's different, bro. Like, my sound is unique. It stands alone. And because of my attraction to and my connection with, like, these abstract ideas or these things that were not really commonplace in hip-hop at the time, martial arts, anime, video games, that helped me to cultivate a sound that was able to exist on its own and evolve in a way that helped me to kind of get to where I am now.
Right.
So now that the Omari ego portion of the I'm the best producer in the world. God damn it, y'all niggas trash.
Ever.
Right. No, all due respect, all those guys are amazing and they inspire me as well. But like I said, they all do. I can't do what they can do. They're all. The reason why I name those guys in particular is because they all have that same sound. It's like, yo, these guys stand alone, right? Like right. They are in a tier of their own because you can't really compare their beats to anybody else's. They all sound unique. And so to me, anytime I tell a young producer, how do you like create a name for yourself, is that first you have to create a sound for yourself. And that sound will stand alone, separate from whatever is popular at the moment. You can always go back to that, and it will help you to succeed. And I imagine it much is the same for rapping as well, right?
Yeah, man, for sure. Everybody, it's you would think it's about standing out, but sometimes it's.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Everybody doing the same thing and all that, so whatever. Anyway, so that's a good answer. Mine, obviously, like you said, man, the obvious answer is Samurai Champloo, right?
Obvious.
But one that I particularly kind of was drawn to, I guess maybe because it was so like smooth and you know what I mean, and I'm talking about the Princess Mononoke soundtrack. Who made that? It wasn't. You would think that it was Queen Mother, but it was actually Joe Hisashi did that. Yeah.
And he's dope too.
Bro, super dope, and the soundtrack is like amazing. It's so beautiful, and that's one that inspired me a lot when I was growing up. It was just different, right? Different from anything else I ever listened to or experienced, and it was just so laid back and smooth, and I love the movie too. So I would definitely have to. I'm gonna go with Princess Mononoke on that one.
Boom. That's
right.
I thought about Princess Mononoke too. Almost went with that one.
Right. So yeah, man. We started off doing this 10-day anime challenge, and it always gets kind of it gets lost in the shuffle sometimes on the show. But with that said, if you guys are listening, or if you're listening on Spotify or wherever you're listening to, if you go back to episode 37, I believe, is when we started our 10-day anime challenge. So now we're on day 4, I believe, and the topic for this day 4 of our 10-day anime challenge is what's your favorite team or crew in anime?
Oh fuck!
Kind of a good one.
Damn, because they don't really. I mean, so like when you say crew, like are you talking about like a cast, right? Like a
a crew could be Jin, Mugen, and Fu. It could be be Team 7 from Naruto.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Shit, bro. Fuck.
It could be the Straw Hat Pirates from One Piece. There's a lot of good groups out there. I guess you're looking for one where you like most of the characters, because that's kind of the
yeah. Okay. I got it. Okay, I'm gonna go with
My cats are getting a trash bag. Stop! What are you guys doing?
Right, cats out here catting around.
Cats.
Hold on, I need to look something up real quick because I can't remember a name. Senin. Okay, that's right.
Hey.
So Senin, yeah. So I'm gonna go with Team Senin from Koroku no Basket, which is basically their home team, right? The team with Koroku and Taiga Kagami. Obviously, they're both amazing. Taiga with the bounce and the game. He reminds me of Amari Stoudemire. That's when I see him play. That's what he reminds me of. Like, got a little bit of a handle, kind of, for a big man. Can shoot a little bit, but like will bang you out of the paint.
Amari was just so dope in his prime, dude.
Like Knicks, first year on the Knicks, Amari Stoudemire. Wow. That motherfucker was an animal, bro. He was like a legit MVP for like the first quarter of the season.
He was. Really good.
So, but then you got some of their supporting players too. They had the captain of their team, Junpei Kyuga, I think was his name. I just love the fact that this nigga's Doug. I just love that anime because they just make everybody's like signature move like a power up and like a special move. So Junpei he unlocked his special move midway through the series. And the way that they describe it, anime, they always be doing the most. But basically what it was a step back jumper. And once he unlocked that shit, that nigga Junpei was stepping back like, oh no, going crazy. He was their starting shooting guard. And I love the fact that like every person on that team had their function. They had a special ability. They made it like almost like a Naruto team. Like every member of the team has their speciality to help in the mission. And I would say probably a second to that, keeping in the basketball theme, would be Shohoku from Slam Dunk. That was the main character's team there with Hanamichi Sakuragi, who was just a rebounding machine. You had Rukawa, who was the rookie freshman that had all the flash in his game. And they had their point guard, bro. In the 90s, they animated this. They drew this point guard to have like this 90s like high top curly fade, but he almost looked like Puerto Rican kind of, but he was Japanese at the same time. I'm like, I'm not exactly sure what y'all were doing there, but I'm here for it. And then there was another dude who just shot the bloody cash and never missed. So I'm here for the anime super basketball, like the anime basketball super teams, unrealistically talented super teams. I'm here for it.
Nice, man.
There it is.
So yeah, there's a lot of dope. one of the kind of things about groups and teams is the best ones are usually villain organizations.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the Phantom Troop from Hunter is really dope. But I mean,
Akatsuki.
Yeah, man, and that's kind of my generic answer, right? I gotta go with the Akatsuki, man, from Naruto. Just and the reason I like them so much is because first of all, like the origins are kind of dope, right? You got this this group that is made up of all these ninjas who are like been like outcast from their village, and I love how they cross out the on the head, man, and and then you got the Akatsuki, man. When they came into Naruto, the entire mood of the show just changed, and they had talked about. In the original one, when they were kids, they talked about it. And the whole reason that Naruto goes to train with Jiraiya is so he's ready when they come in a couple years to try to get him and take his beast out. And when Shippuden comes around and the Akatsuki is the main focal point of the show, it just everything gets dark and serious. And just some really cool characters. Obviously Itachi, man, but then you also had Pain, and you find out the whole story about Nagato, Uzumaki, and Conan, and what is I can't think of. This is gonna bother me. I can't think of my man's name. The one who's actually Pain, the one who because it's Nagato, but he's controlled Yahiko.
The dude with the orange hair. That looks like he looks like Naruto's big brother, kind of.
Right, right. And then you find out about that, and then you got Hidan and Kakuzu, and you got Sasori, you got Deidara with the weird clay hands and exploding art. Deidara, I think that was his name. But yeah, man, the Akatsuki, super dope. Just mad iconic look with the little cloaks with the red clouds on them.
Right, the drip.
What's going on? My bad. Some kid just called the computer to talk to Jayless. I think that was his cousin. But yeah, man. So I gotta go with the Akatsuki, man. That's what I'm going with for my favorite anime group.
Solid ass answer.
Day 4 anime challenge. So what else we got, man? So
bro, it's been 22 years since the debut of one of the great animes of all time, Cowboy Bebop. Also, we're old as fucking dirt. Jesus Christ.
We're old, and that's what these anniversary things always just kind of show you that you're old. Cowboy Bebop is 22 years old this year. One of the greatest anime ever. One of my favorite shows ever.
For sure, no doubt.
I think that Cowboy Bebop was my first show that I really loved. That there is action in it, right? And we always say, like, if you want like action packed, like Spike just scrapping all the time, watch the movie. Cowboy Bebop. Fantastic, but the show it's so good, and it's not like super action packed. It's just a really good show with some good fights in it and stuff. So what's your favorite Cowboy Bebop episode?
There are a bunch. They're all great. Like there are no like filler episodes. They're all amazing.
Right. And that's another dope thing about it. It's an episodic show. Like Samurai Champloo, with that bigger like overarching story at play, but it's not like it's not story arc based. It's
not necessarily. No, I mean every now and then it's just like, obviously it was created by the same person, but it's just like Samurai Champloo in that you have like every 3 or 4 episodes there's like a multi-part arc, but the overall story, the overall episode structure is not necessarily, you don't necessarily need to see them all in order.
Right.
But you should see them in order.
You should definitely see them in order. And man, Cowboy Bebop might have the best, it really might have the best pilot like ever.
Yeah, I was gonna say the first episode is it's probably my second or third favorite episode, but it's amazing. It's amazing. If I had to pick my number one favorite episode, this is kind of a random one, but I really like I wrote down the name of it here. The one about Ein. Stray Dog Strut. I love that episode. It has one of the best. It's not really a fight. I mean, there is sort of a fight, but one of the best action sequences where Spike is like fighting / running away from / chasing Abdul. Like one of the only and dopest black people in all of 90s anime. But fucking Abdul was called Abdul Akeem, nigga, blackest name ever. And you kind of get introduced to Ein as like the hacking dog that had like the code inside of him. I gotta be honest, I've been meaning to revisit Cowboy Bebop. Some of it is a little foggy, which I'm excited for, because if it's been a long time since you've seen something and you see it again, it's like,
it's always good, man.
It's like you are experiencing it again for the first time. So I don't remember all of I remember that I liked it the most, but I also have to give a shout out to the second. I also have to give a shout out to the last episode as well. That one was super duper iconic.
Man.
Real Folk Blues. Is that what it was called?
I think so, and that's also the name of the ending
song.
Thing, which is amazing. But yeah, man, Cowboy Bebop, love it. My favorite episode is definitely Jupiter Jazz. All the episodes have super fire names, but Jupiter Jazz, it's like that two-parter. And I remember they go to the planet, and it's like all men there, you know what I mean? And the guys mistake him for Vicious, and Spike's got the pink bubble coat on, you know what I mean? And he just beats up all of these guys, you know. And then that episode just has so much in it, bro. It's so much. It's like a Western. It's like a crime drama. It's like a soap opera, you know what I mean? With the guy who dies kind of within Spike's arms, basically, you know what I mean? That episode is amazing. There's so much in it. That episode is really, really, really.
What
really
episode number is that? Do you remember?
Jupiter Jazz. I don't know. I want to say it's like in the middle. It's probably like around 11, 12, 13 somewhere. But it's my favorite, and one of the best fights too. Like I said, man, Spike just beats up like this large group of people for mistaking him for Vicious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you have seen Cowboy Bebop, guys, and you're listening, one of the coolest things about the show is that the creator, kind of, who is the GOAT, by the way, he basically allows you to kind of determine the meaning of the ending. You know what I mean? And I always thought that was really, really dope. Which is like when people ask questions and they're like, if you could pick a one season anime that would have more seasons, like what would you pick? Like, I would not pick Cowboy Bebop.
Neither would I.
One of those shows, kind of like Samurai Champloo, that just has that perfect ending, man. And like, so, but like I was saying, the creator leaves it up to you to kind of determine what happens at the end, right? Because there's these things at play where it's like, is Spike, did he die? Has he been dead the whole time? Is he mortal? You know what I mean? So just what was kind of like, what's your interpretation of the ending, and like, how have you always thought of the ending of the show?
So I think that the iconic moment, the bang moment, right? Like, I know I'm not the only person that has this take, but I think that it represents his. For once, I don't have a sweaty sci-fi take about this. Like, I think that it was pretty straightforward in that, like, that was him owning and preparing and accepting his fate, his death. And the reason why I think that is because that's actually a callback to an earlier episode. You remember the episode? It was early in the season where that old ass dude that played the harmonica. He like, so when he was like immortal or something, or didn't age or something like that. And then once he died at the end, he asked Spike, did he understand? And so Spike takes his harmonica and throws it up in the air.
You're talking about the that he had like the young kid.
Yes. Yep. It is a good. It's a weird episode, but it's a good one. Did I freeze again? I can't hear you. I can't hear you though.
Are you back?
There we go. Now I'm back. Okay.
But so many episodes of the show, man.
So just real quick to finish that point, I think at that point, because he kind of did it like flippantly, like, nigga, whatever. I understand. Bang. And then once he did it again, he was like, yeah, I think I do. I really do understand now. And all, like, he kind of, he had gotten revenge, kind of. You know, all of the threads, the loose threads in his life had kind of been sewed up. Like Ayn and Faye and Ed had already left, and he was kind of at a point where he was just like, all right, man, like I've kind of done what I needed to do, and if I'm gonna go out, like this is a Spike ass way to go out. So bang.
Right. I like it. That's good. I've always I have kind of a conspiracy, you know what I mean, take on the ending. I think the show has always obviously there's always the theme of immortality in Cowboy Bebop, and and how it's more of a curse than it is like a gift. And if you watch the movie, right, Spike gets shot in the chest by
he does,
and he should have died. And there's a couple times where he should have died. So, and then when you watch the show, there's this like they don't really talk about too much, but Spike has like a cybernetic eye. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so my take has always been that Spike is immortal, and the show is him. Continuously living out this part in his life that he has wanted to die at, but he can't die. So he obviously the girl he loves, right, has died during this period, and I just think that the show is about him living out this time, and it always gets up to the point where he would die, and where he should die, and where he wants to die, and he did everything he could to die, but he can't, you know what I mean? So he's just haunted by it all the time. So that's my take on it. I think Spike's immortal.
That's a sweaty take, dog. I'm here for it.
And I love Cowboy Bebop, man. I'm about to mess around and watch it again, because you bringing up that episode. It's just like there's so many weird episodes of this show.
For sure.
Like the one where he left that food in the fridge, and it turns into like a monster.
Yeah, like a sentient fucking alien. So do you think Spike? Because we learned that Faye is like cybernetic, or she was like frozen and from like the distant past. Do you think Spike is from the same period as her?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know, man. That's a really good question. I might have to say, yeah, because Faye and Spike are so different from everybody else. That's different from even Jet, Jet, right? Different, and he's black, by the way.
Yeah, Jet for sure is black.
Spike.
No
Spike. Yo, so yeah, man, if you guys have never watched Cowboy Bebop, man, you gotta watch it. Go watch it. It's a great show, amazing soundtrack, amazing characters, just a really, really good show, episode to episode. You can binge it pretty quick, man. It's only like 20 something episodes, so definitely watch Cowboy Bebop. But that brings us to everybody's favorite part of the show, and that is our top 5 today. We have done our top 5 favorite anime characters before, but we have never strictly talked about the protagonist, and that is kind of the hardest thing about watching a long anime or anime period is do you like the main character or not? Because if you don't, it's kind of hard to tough through like 200 episodes of something if you can't stand the main character. I tried it. Everybody hates me because I don't because I can't really tough out the 12 billion episodes of One Piece, and it's because I'm not a big Luffy fan.
Neither am I.
That's just how it is. Sometimes people, sometimes you resonate with the main character, sometimes you don't. So with that said, Hiro-san, give me your top 5 favorite anime protagonist. And I'm saying this right now. We always talk about how Samurai Champloo is that show that's got dual protagonists. So I'm outlawing Samurai Champloo. You cannot have it in your top 5 because I truly believe that show has hit. All 3 of them are like the main character. It's a triple main character show. So give me a top 5 favorite main characters.
All right, so here we go. This actually was very easy. I actually already kind of had this list. Some version. This will be the point where we cut back in. So we had a technical difficulty where I just completely had a brain fart and just said my first one just off top because I'm a fucking jackass. I don't know what else you want me to say. So with number 5, good grief. I'm gonna start the list off.
Literally like, yo, right. So number 1.
Dog, wow. Okay. So I'm gonna start the list off very interestingly, in that number 5 is a main character of a very popular anime, but he is also simultaneously the main villain, and that is Light Yagami from Death Note. One of the most unique characters in all of anime. I've been trying to get Noveliss to watch Death Note for the longest. I'm telling you, dog, that shit is so fucking good, bro.
Are there air combos in Death Note?
there are mental fucking air combos. That nigga L and Light Beast fucking god damn it. Yeah. I have hard as hell.
I have this downtime. I'm gonna watch the Death Note, and I'm gonna watch it before the next episode. I have the time. If everybody is like super surprised that I haven't watched it because I'm an action junkie, so I'm going to watch Death Note, man.
Bro, there are some scenes. There's some like super high anxiety moments in that shit where I'm like, fuck, dog, like what's about to happen? Oh shit.
So what's this guy's name?
His name is Light Yagami. He's the main character. Okay. Yeah, he's the main character. Basically, the general. I'm sure you know what it's about, but just a general overview. A Shinigami, a god of death, drops a death note into the human realm, basically just for shits and giggles, just because this nigga is bored. And Light Yagami, who is this smart, really really smart high school student, picks it up and decides that he wants to become the ruler of the world with it. And the way he does it is really, really interesting. But the best part about the show is the back and forth between him and his major foil, who is bro, it's because he's the good guy. L is the good guy. He's the detective that's trying to find out who the killer is. But he's positioned from a storytelling perspective as the villain, but he's actually the good guy. It's really, really, really good stuff. I think you would like it.
Check it out.
Just a lot of fucking thinking, bro. These niggas be having traps on top of traps, on top of ideas, on top of I knew you was gonna do that, so I did this. On top of
that's why I did this.
On top of goddamn, like I knew you were gonna be right there at that exact moment, so I have this waiting for you, bro. These niggas got schemes, bro. Everybody got a scheme. I love it, right?
How did you?
Dog, Light be having the most harebrained ass schemes, dog. No, bro, there's one scene, dog. There's one scene when you get to it, you'll know. There's one scene where this nigga so there's two scenes, two iconic gifs that come from that show. One of them I use all the time on Facebook when somebody says something stupid and I do like the delete. As a matter of fact, Matt Hardy got that shit from Death Note, the delete shit.
Word.
So there's one. I mean, I can't really describe it without spoiling anything, but there's a point where somebody writes in the Death Note extremely aggressively, this nigga stands up and and, it looks like he's using a samurai sword and signs the Death Note. It's just in a super exaggerated anime fashion. I think it's hilarious. And also there's a scene where this nigga Light is feeling his Kira. That's the name of that's the name that he's given himself as the killer. He's feeling his swag a little bit. He's got his plan worked out. This nigga says, "I'm gonna take a potato chip and eat it," and it fucking takes a fucking pornographic ass bite out of the chip on some straight 90s wrestler promo type shit. Hilarious, bro. So good. Love that show.
Check it out, man.
All right. Anyways, moving on. Number 1, it's like I'm just playing. Number 4, we're gonna go with Son Goku. However, Baby Goku. I don't give a single. Did we lose? Are we fucking T-pose when your video game? There we go. Okay, I'm back. I was about to go into a T-pose when your fucking video game freezes. So my number 4, I'm gonna go with Son Goku, but
hey, Goku-san!
I don't give a single fuck about adult Goku. Give me young Goku.
Dragon Ball Goku.
Give me young Goku, and specifically Dragon Ball Goku, not young GT Goku. Yeah. Dragon Ball Goku was a lovable little rascal who had martial arts skills, who wasn't trying to blow up your planet. He just had hands and feet, and was trying to get into some trouble and eat some food and save his village. So I was super here for that. Also, shout out to a young Krillin too. Young Krillin was a little fucking.
Little Krillin was a little dirtbag.
Right, dog. A little fucking asshole. Goddamn.
Oh man.
Yeah. Shout out to young. Just Dragon Ball in general is just so much better than Dragon Ball Z. Just a great show. Underrated in my opinion. A lot of people give I think Dragon Ball deserves the spot that Dragon Ball Z has in pop culture. Dragon Ball is, in my opinion,
better story,
better animation in some cases.
Oh, the fights are yeah. I mean, with the exception of Piccolo versus Android 17 and Goku versus
Vegeta. Goku versus Vegeta. The first fight on Earth was amazing.
Yeah, Goku versus Vegeta, the first fight. A lot of the fights in Dragon Ball are animated a little better because it's more actual martial arts techniques. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
So I think that obviously Dragon Ball Z is more iconic, and it has it sort of set the standard for shonen anime moving forward.
And the theme song for Dragon Ball is
my god, so fucking good, dog. Dragon Balls. Right. That shit fire, dog.
The theme song to Dragon Ball is amazing.
Yep.
Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball. All of that. Okay. Now number 3. You guys should know me by now, so it shouldn't be such a surprise how high this character ranks on my list, and how high I consider this anime to be one of the all-time greats, even though it's about cooks and chefs. Got to give it up to fucking Food Wars, man. Just a brilliant ass anime, a brilliant spin. Oh no, I forgot about an honorable mention. Ooh. Man, number 6, honorable mention, kind of got to give it up to Senku from Dr. Stone. Amazing young character. He's a rookie, still new in the game. Just finished his first season, but I'm getting Trae Young vibes off of that young man. I'm a big fan of Senku. But
Right.
just the reason why that came to mind is because just another great example of a shonen style anime that had like the tropes flipped on their head, and so we're not doing the magical school of ninja or the magical school of fucking firefighters or whatever the fuck Fire Force is. That shit looks stupid to me, bro. I'm sorry. Like, I know a lot of people like it. That shit looks trash to me. But we're doing cooks, the magical school of firefighter. Make us be putting out fires and shit. We're gonna make an anime about that. No.
Hey, I don't like the show either personally, but the theme song to that, you should just turn it on, watch the theme song, and the theme song of that show is amazing.
All right, I'll take your word for it. I watched the first 3 episodes. I couldn't.
I remember you told me. I don't know if you told me. I think we were just talking, and you were like, you were like, bro, I can't watch Fire Force. The main character has shark teeth,
bro. That nigga got fucking shark teeth. What the fuck is that? That's just weird. What a weird choice for a character.
For no reason.
This nigga just got chompers looking ass for some reason. Like, what's that?
Oh my goodness.
Weird. Hilarious. Anyways, yeah. So enough about Fire Force. I'm talking about Food Wars, and my number 3 is Yukihira Soma. Just a throwback, like kind of a '90s hotshot ass character that like doesn't really. I love the trope. I kind of was frustrated with it, even though the payoff for Naruto was really good. But like the whole Harry Potter style of like magical chosen one is trash as fuck to start, and then eventually suddenly is like crazy powerful out of nowhere. Like I'm not a huge fan of that. Naruto did a good job because you could see his come up and his power up was earned. Like you had to feel for Naruto after the Pain Saga. You were like, all right, bro, this nigga earned his stripes. Like
he did
for sure. But with a lot of these animes, the main character starts off just inexplicably weak for no reason, and then suddenly because the plot demands it is super powerful. I'm not into that. Yukihiro Soma showed up first day of school and was like, yo, I'm better than y'all niggas. What's good? And was already dope off top. You know what I'm saying? But I also like the fact that since we show the main character being super powered or being, already very capable, I like when that person is then challenged by other people who are just as good as him, if not better. And so I thought Food Wars did a really good job of that because it makes I'd be having a hard time rooting for the trash main character if he doesn't have any redeemable qualities and he also sucks on top of that. Like it's hard to root for him. But Yukihiro was an asshole and like a hot shot, but he had game. Like he had some chef skills. He was already good. And it was easy for me to like root for him. And he's got a kind of cool, like classic spiky hair design. So I'm a big fan of that show, big fan of that character. So moving on to number 2. Who was my number 2? I forgot. Let me take a look. The Batosai himself. You know what I'm saying? Hirokiri Batosai. The one and only Himura Kenshin. God damn it. I always have to say the full title before I say his name. You gotta put some respect on the Batosai's name. Right, Hirokiri Batosai. Himura Kenshin. God damn it.
Kenshin this.
All right.
Come on, man. Look, I'm gonna talk about my guy.
I mean, you already know, like he's
my guy.
This reflection makes me look like I got like a white beard at the bottom.
Hey, it does. It looks sweet.
Dog, wait till I get old. If my hairline hold up and I still have locks when I have white hair, watch me come through with the silver locks, boy.
Looking like Leroy from Tekken.
With the fucking Leroy.
I'm here for that. What? Please, if my hairline holds up.
Yes, right. Where's some wood at? Fucking goddamn it.
I'm coming through with the white locks too.
The silver locks, bro. Let's go. So, anyways, the next one that we got is we gotta talk some more about Kenshin. So Kenshin, bro. the prototypical, like, maybe the best swordsman in all of anime, like superhuman, but not confirmed.
There is no, I'm not doing no maybes. Look, man, bro, Kenshin's character is a little more grounded in reality than like almost every other swordsman in anime.
Yeah.
And he, I mean, with the exception of like Jin and Mugen, you gotta look at Kenshin as a pretty much human who has like superhuman qualities, not like some of these other anime characters who are like superheroes, basically. You know,
right? Yeah, for sure. And from that lens, I mean, you already know how much I love Jin and Mugen, but like, I think Kenshin will wash both of them, and I don't even know if it would be that close. I mean, he's just and like just the dichotomy of like the dark side. I know novelists don't like to hear me talk about this, but I'm telling you, bro, the OVA is so good. It gives you.
It's too sad.
It is sad, but I'm telling you, bro, it gives you the context. It makes the Kenshin character work so much better, dog. If you see it.
Do you know how rare those are? Like to find them. I
true.
own them and I never watch them. That's how sad it is. I have them and I do not ever watch them.
It's sad, but I'm telling you, bro, the animation itself is fire. And the story, bro, the story is horrifying and it's sad, but like you kind of need that to understand why Kenshin is who he is, and it makes the character so much better, in my opinion. Man, that's a tragic ass story, dog. But
terrible.
Fuck, that shit is horrible.
Absolutely, it's horrible.
But yeah, man, he's a great character. I am looking forward to rewatching Kenshin. So I got some homework to do. I'm going to rewatch Kenshin, Samurai Champloo, and Cowboy Bebop. It's been many years since I've watched any of them. But Samurai Champloo, it was such a big part of my life that I kind of like have the whole thing in my head already. But the other ones I need to go back and refresh. Speaking of which, number 1, Spike Spiegel. Spike from Cowboy Bebop. I mean, you want to talk about one of the most iconic characters in all of fiction, regardless of genre. You got part of him is Bruce Lee, part of him is John Wayne, part of him is fucking like Batman. You know what I'm saying? He's got you've got some Terminator to him, even though he's not a cyborg, but kind of that bounty hunter. You know, that Jeet Kune Do shotgun bounty hunter, fucking gunslinger. It's just such an amalgamation of so many different genres coming into one dope ass human being. And also he's got like his swag is like a jazz horn player. Like, it wouldn't surprise me at all if in one of Spike's many past lives he was like a fucking blues or like a jazz trumpet player. You know what I'm saying? Playing jazz in like space New Orleans. I could totally see that. And obviously that was very intentional with the design. I mean, the whole aesthetic is like American classic jazz sort of style. And even the way he's dressed is a homage to that. So just one of the great characters ever. Huge fan, Spike Spiegel, number 1. So just to run it back, my top 5 are Light Yagami at number 4, Light Yagami number 5, Young Goku number 4, Yukihiro Soma number 3, Kenshin number 2, Spike number 1.
Awesome list, man. There's so many good main characters, man. So let's say give it a shot. First of all, I have to give a couple honorable mentions, man. I got to give an honorable mention to Ashitaka from Princess Mononoke. I love that movie, love the character. Also got to give an honorable mention to my guy, and I want to have him on this list so bad, but it's just not working out that way that I want to, so I can't have him on this list. But I gotta go with Gon from Hunter, man. I love Gon, that's my guy. Also, so yeah, a couple honorable mentions, but right now let's get into the list. So yeah, man, coming in at number 5, Look, man, a lot of people they don't like him. They say that he's a whiner and they complain about him. But this is my guy, and the reason is I love the pure emotion that comes out of this character, and that is Deku from My Hero Academia.
Yo, who be hating on Deku, man? Deku's dope.
A lot of people hate on Deku, man, and I actually love Deku. I think he's awesome. He's one of my favorite main characters. Obviously, the show's amazing. I think his character is amazing. He doesn't bother me. I see some people complain about him, and I just don't see it, man. I love Deku, and like I said, the emotion that this character brings is fantastic. So I had to go with Deku at number 5. Coming in at number 4, look, man, like you said, Dragon Ball was better. It was better. It was a better show back in. Actually, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting somebody. Oh no, that means that Goku has to be an honorable mention. Oh no, how could I do that? Anyway, sorry, Goku. I love Goku. I was gonna go same young Goku for this, but I can't because I forgot somebody that's got to be on. So, Goku's honorable mention. Whoops. I love you, Goku. Young Goku though, young to teen Goku and Dragon Ball, fantastic.
I'll even give you Goku up until the
saga.
Yeah. Well, no, I will even say up until
Android saga.
Yeah, he was already starting. I would say right after he turned Super Saiyan and he completed the Frieza saga. Everything after that, throw the whole Goku away.
Right. I got you. You're frozen. Should I wait?
I can still hear you so far, but you are also frozen.
Oh no, I'm frozen. But you can still hear me.
I can still hear you. You're making a funny face.
With that,
there you go. You're back.
With that said, so my number 5 is Deku. Number 4, how could I forget? I gotta go with my man Jubei Kibagami from.
Hey, yes sir.
My first ever anime. How terrible and traumatizing, right? But Jubei, man, that's my guy. He's got this ninja fighting against all these supernatural entities at play, and my man is just, possibly the most macho but also stupid thing ever. When literally, all he has to do is he's with this beautiful woman, Kagero, who he's obviously fallen in love with, and her body is the cure to the poison that's going to kill him. And she's basically like, hey, make love to me and heal yourself. And my man's like, no.
Bro, what are you doing?
What are you doing, man? What you doing?
What point are you trying to prove right now, dog? Like,
anyway, I love Jubei. Super awesome 90s violent anime character. Also, sidebar, a lot of people don't know this. Ninja Scroll actually did have a little show, and it was terrible.
It did, yes, I remember that.
I liked it at the time, but it's trash.
It didn't hold up, yeah.
No, but movie Jubei, fantastic, one of my favorite characters ever. Coming in at number 3, I gotta go with my man, the Hokage himself, Naruto.
Hey.
I'm a big Naruto fan. Yes, there are some things about him that bother me, like if I could just take Naruto from the last couple episodes up until now, where he's Hokage, Boruto, he would be my number 1 favorite anime character ever. If I could just take that part of him.
Yeah.
But leading up to those moments, he did get on my nerves a lot. I liked him as a kid a lot. And then early Shippuden, he got on my nerves. He was a crybaby. I felt like his undying loyalty to Sasuke didn't really make any sense. Because I felt like they were never friends ever.
Right.
So
he didn't owe him shit.
He didn't owe him anything. And then there's that one moment where he's like, where you guys going? Kakashi's basically like, I'm about to go kill Sasuke because he's number 1 in the video. And Naruto, this dude literally has a heart attack and starts like hyperventilating and falls. Right. But other than that, if I could take this, end of the war, fight with Sasuke, up until now, Boruto, Hokage, short hair Naruto, one of my favorite characters ever.
Yo, here, real quick question. I think the answer is pretty much yes. I don't know if it would even be that close, but do you think that Kakashi could have killed Sasuke at that point?
If he wanted to, absolutely, no questions asked.
I agree.
think so, for sure.
I agree.
Yeah, Kakashi.
I think Kakashi would have been able to beat almost anybody, with the exception of like Madara.
Kakashi is a really slept on character. He's obviously, everybody knows he's my favorite anime character ever. But a lot of people sleep on him because he's not like freakishly powerful. He's kind of
subtle powerful.
And I think I say it all the time, I think he's the most well-rounded, skill-wise, the most well-rounded character in Naruto. Like, he can do a little bit of everything. So
I think his
genius.
Oh, go ahead, my bad.
He's a genius. Got the hands. He's a master with the hands. Taijutsu. Guy has a Sharingan. He can do most of the things that other people can do. He invented Kamui, basically, and that's like one of the best jutsu ever.
Yeah, that shit's fire.
So I mean, he's one of the, he can do Rasengan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he's one of the best. He's one of the best characters in the show, man.
So I would say, and you correct, you're the Naruto expert, but I would say that a fully powered, motivated, bloodlusted Kakashi would have been able to beat anybody up to the power and anybody at and below the power of Itachi. I think he could have beat Itachi, and I think anybody Itachi and less powerful, he would have been able to beat. What do you think?
I agree, man. I agree. I think Kakashi, one thing that Kakashi is always, when he's fighting, he's very reserved. You know what I mean? I think that when he had the encounter with Itachi, I don't think he wanted to kill him. I don't think he was.
No, I don't think so either. Yeah,
because they had a little bit of history. So, but yeah, man, Kakashi's dope. But my number 3, Naruto Uzumaki, Lord 7 himself. He would be higher if he didn't get on my nerves so much.
As a youth them.
My number 2, man, I gotta go with Spike Spiegel, man. Cowboy Bebop, the Bruce Lee style. Like you said, it's just if Spike it's like a mixture of all the cool 90s action and sci-fi things put into
right.
it. You know what I'm saying? He's like a 90s time capsule of cool stuff. plus Bruce Lee. You know what I mean?
A bounty hunter, Bruce Lee, fucking gunslinger, cowboy, Clint Eastwood. Yeah.
Spaceship operator.
Right.
Spike's a good pilot too. By the way. But yeah, man, Spike, just a legendary character. I can't say enough about Spike, man. I love Spike. Spike's my number 2. My number 1, I mean, it's not hard. Hito Kiti Batosei.
Yes, sir.
Kimura Kenshin, my favorite main anime character ever. I talk about Kenshin all the time. He was on my top 5 anime characters list, only behind Kakashi himself. I love Kenshin, man. Like, you always talk about the overs, they're incredibly sad. They are good, but they're incredibly sad, so I don't know watch them. But yeah, bro, Kenshin, that's my favorite character. Just a great character. His voice is great. You know what I mean? His story and like, Kenshin is small, bro. Like,
he's
you know what I'm saying? He's not a big dude, and he be out here wrecking some giants. I can't say enough about Kenshin, man. My favorite main character ever. Kenshin is one of my favorite shows ever. It was one of my earlier anime that I watched. And I guess other than Ninja Scroll, Kenshin was like my first like sword anime. You know what I mean? That was like a full show. So I think I just I owe a lot of my taste to that character, man, in that show. So shout out to Kenshin. That's my number 1. So that's my list, man. My number 5, Deku from My Hero Academia. My number 4, Jubei from Ninja Scroll. Number 3, Naruto Uzumaki. Number 2, Spike Spiegel. Number 1, Himura Kenshin. That's my top 5 favorite anime protagonists. Hey, man, we're going to do a next gen system episode. We're probably going to bring Chris on because my mom is a gaming master. So we're probably going to talk about that soon, maybe even next episode. So that's it, man. That's our comeback episode 42. You got anything you want to put me on as we await Ghost of Tsushima that we are trying so desperately hard to get to, and I'm trying to not buy another game leading up to it because I'm going all out when Ghost of Tsushima comes out. I'm buying the cool packaging. I'm probably going to spend like $100 on that game. So I'm not trying to buy another game leading up to Ghost of Tsushima.
All right, so with that in mind, I'm going to put you on a show that I've been screaming at you about for months. Nigga, you got to watch. And I'm not even, bro, I'm talking all this shit, but I keep falling asleep on the exact same episode. So I'm only about 8 episodes in, but Vinland Saga is super dope, dog, super dope. It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime. It's fire. It is about Vikings, and it's about the Vinland Saga.
I'm familiar with the manga. I was reading the manga a couple years ago when it was coming out. Yeah.
So it's really dope, man. Like, I'm a huge fan of it already. Like, I think that it's really unique because it's like it straight up is not like a Japanese story about Vikings. It's a fucking, I mean, it's a Viking story about Vikings with niggas that got Viking names, and it just so happens to be illustrated by, you know, a Japanese studio. So with that in mind, I'm going to say something that may at first sound like it goes against one of my all-time most important SwordCast rules, which is I don't fuck with quote unquote black anime, because I think that shit is corny most of the time. Now I've been kind of forced to adjust my thinking on this a little bit because there is a flat out like black anime studio in Japan right now, and that kind of changes things a little bit. Like, I just think it's really corny when you take Japanese ideas or Japanese, like if you take like black characters and like put them in Dragon Ball Z or put them in like samurai costumes.
I feel you on there, right? Like, take black characters and tell black stories.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
And I don't care if you do it in an anime style, right? So this actually leads to my point that I was going to make. So now that I see this, the Vinland Saga, right? Like, I would love to, because that's not a Japanese story at all. It's a completely Viking story. So I would love to see, even if it's the black anime studio in Japan, doing a anime style adventure, or even an anime itself, by an anime studio, by a Japanese studio, by some Japanese animators, even if it's black owned, about a black story that's not putting some niggas in a goddamn kimono and samurai armor. Tell a story about like a Egyptian warrior or a West African Ashanti warrior, but like from that perspective.
And we talked about this before. The content is there. So much of it, right?
Man, so much
history, so much like. Can you imagine we talked about this before. Can you imagine an anime made up of like civil rights heroes, you know what I mean?
Man.
And crazy over the top anime style action. Harriet Tubman out here kicking heads off of slave owners and stopping bullets. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Or like, bro, like the fucking Haitian Revolution. Oh my God.
Yeah, we talked about that too, bro.
Yo, you know what would be a sweet... Listen, bro, you know it would be a sweet-ass idea. Look, I know everybody who matters in Hollywood and in Japan and all the anime studios, I know y'all listen to our podcast every day. I'm telling you, here it would be a dog-ass idea. So the Haitian Revolution, right? A crazy turn of events where the Haitians the Haitian slaves like revolted and literally killed like every white person on the island.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Danny Glover been trying to make a movie about this shit for forever. He cannot get it made because white people in Hollywood keep wanting him to make a redeemable white character. And Danny Glover was like, nah, there weren't any. They all died. There were none. So that's how we're going to do the movie. But one of the things, shout out to my dad, rest in peace, who put me on this. One of the things that is written to have happened the night before the ritual the night before the revolt was that like all of the men or whoever was doing the battling all gathered together and did like a fucking like voodoo like ceremony and like a voodoo chant to like basically power themselves up with like the African spirits. Can you imagine seeing that in like anime form where them niggas like,
Bro.
where it was like they exaggerated the voodoo piece and they just like became like super powered, and they just did this crazy like ritual where, you know, you saw the spirits just like and they just all fucking went crazy. Goddamn it! That should be cold.
We need that.
That shit would be fire, bro. I'm telling you, there's so many amazing black stories. Y'all do not need to put them in samurai outfits, man. We got our own history, and it is awesome. Right. It's every bit as dope as that shit. Every bit.
I agree, man. 100%. Maybe one day we'll get it. Maybe one day we'll create it.
Hey, man.
You know what I mean?
Let's go.
Create it. So yeah, bro. That's awesome. And you know what? Maybe we will actually create that.
Bro, I'm here for it. I got the ideas, man.
I'm going to make a couple calls when we get done. And I do think that we could make that happen. I have the resources. So, yeah, man. That's it. Oh, yeah. I got a little something to put you on real quick. First, I talked to you about Dodo Hidodo before. I
watched a couple episodes.
Oh, wow. How'd you feel about it? Very violent, very dark.
Yeah, it was fucking weird. Yeah. I'm only like 3 episodes in, but I fuck with it. It's
intriguing.
It's I like the weird shit, bro.
It's intriguing. Right. And another thing I got to put you on, man. I've been telling you about this forever. Fire Pro Wrestling World for PS4. Look, if y'all don't know what Fire Pro Wrestling is, it's an old school wrestling game. It looks old, looks like a little old arcade wrestling game. This game is amazing. One, the customization is ridiculous. It has like every move ever. You can get on your phone and just go to the little website and you can just click subscribe and it will put the wrestlers into your game from your phone. And you can literally get any wrestler ever in history of wrestling. This game also has every move ever. I downloaded Orange Cassidy because my son played this game. And somebody made Orange Cassidy's little hands in the pocket kick combo. That's fire. And it has every match type. Like I play with my son all the time, and of course he likes to do these crazy exploding barbed wire matches. All types of crazy violent stuff, but the game's awesome. I love it. I play it all the time. So check out Fire Pro Wrestling World, man, if you guys have never played it. But that's it, man. Episode 42 in the books. Check out my new song. I got a new song out right now. It's called Liquid Snake. Got a video for it on my YouTube channel. The song's streaming everywhere. And stay tuned, man, because, I got some things coming. Got a couple new projects coming soon. I don't know how soon, but they're almost done. They're on the way. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But once again, I appreciate you guys, all the positive wishes and everything. I'm healing up. Like I said, I went to see the surgeons today. Got the staples out. And I am just on my road to recovery, and I appreciate y'all for being there with me. With that said, thank y'all for listening to episode 42 in the books. The SwordCast is back. Comment, man. Follow us on Instagram at the SwordCast Pod, and we will answer your questions. And we will talk about some things. If you guys comment some stuff you want us to talk about it, we will, man. So thank y'all for listening.
Check it.
Peace.
Back Hero.
Boom.
My word is my sword, Hokage and Batosai, pulling the blades out of the forge, yo. Prior to my knowledge of the force, was thinking Jedi, but through obtaining holocrons from both sides, I'm under gray skies. Everything that glitter ain't kyber crystal, my mind to lift you. In this time we shine together, disarm your pistol, yo. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast. My wordplay, my swordplay when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, SwordCast.